All right, welcome back to this video from SITECH Intermountain on laser catchers on an excavator. This is not a next gen, this is an earthworks machine, but we're going to do a little bit of digging as if we were cutting in a footing or cutting in a basement. So, if you watched my previous video on how to set the laser up right, I've got the laser over here to my left. It could be a lot further away if it needed to be, but the laser's to my left. It's on a high RPM rotate. And I've got a benchmark right here that I've established with a rock that I've painted, and I've transferred a 100 over to it. So what I'm going to do is set up on my rock right here, right in the middle. Focus point is in the middle, and I'm going to go ahead and bench out and zero out on that. And that's my reference elevation, as you can see on the top of the screen, is 100 right there. So what I can do is touch and go into that and actually put an elevation and offset from there. So at this point, I can say, hey, I'm going to put in a 3 foot. I got to go 3 feet from down here minus. We're going to go ahead and hit apply. Now you can see I've got the elevation there on the top of the screen now is a 97. No big deal. And I've got a true cut of 3 feet from right there. But before I move the undercarriage of the machine, now that I've benched in, I need to go ahead and catch that laser strike. So you can either extend out or you can curl in. I've got auto strike accepted on. And just to show you guys, just to reference, just to make sure, if you got to have those warm and fuzzies, if I set back on the rock and change this back to 0 just by touching it, I'm still zeroed out at 0, even though I've referenced the laser, but I can put in that offset by touching it and again. Okay, now that I've got my 3 feet, what I can do is go out and start digging. So I can turn off laser strike. You can hear that it kept bouncing or trying to auto strike because I just kept digging through it. That may be one reason that you'd want to actually turn this laser strike option off. So I've got about 3/10 more to go. It's still going to beep at you no matter what. I guess I should say that. It's going to beep no matter what, but I just don't have it constantly auto striking. So as I set down, you can see I'm pretty close there, just a little bit more. Go ahead and just clean the floor up here. So now, as we back up, the problem here is as soon as I back up, I may not match anymore, right? So if I reach back out there, I've got to cut a 10. It's not close. So what I need to do at this point is go ahead and re-reference through the laser. As soon as I go back in, I've got my auto strike off. So what I can do is get the blue dot on the screen, and I can go ahead and reference that. So boom, good to go. Back on, we can touch out there. Good to go. Let's dig just a little bit more. I always like a nice tidy dig where they clean the edges up. So you can see I got to cut a 3/10 there, but if we reach out to what I've already done, 0. So no big deal. We'll go ahead and just clean out 3/10 at this point. So what I'm going to do now is clean up this edge, and I'm going to climb up on the hill. We're going to dig this a little bit wider because I need to do it from up on the hill and throw some material off. But I want to reference the laser strike again once I get up there. So now that I've gotten up top here, if I set down in anywhere that I've already dug, right? If I set down in where I dug over here, I got to fill a 440 or 450, 455. Over here, same thing. This is how the laser catcher works at this point. So all you got to do is come over to where the laser beam can actually see it. Go ahead and drop down in. Once it's there, I'm going to hit the OK button because I do have auto strike off. And without moving my undercarriage, let's re-reference back into what I know is on grade. Boom, right there. On grade, on grade, on grade. Actually a fill of a tenth there, no big deal. So from this different elevation, now what we can do is go ahead and start digging out the hole a little bit wider if we need to. So I'm going to square up this edge right here. I had dug as far as I needed, but if you notice right there, I moved the tracks. So I have not re-referenced yet. I need to actually re-reference the laser because the undercarriage is in a completely different spot at this point. So what I'm going to do is, just to show you, I'm going to turn back on laser auto accept, hit done. We'll pass through the laser again. Auto accepted. Always give yourself the warm and fuzzies by checking into something you've already done. Boom, zeros. We'll go ahead and pop this corner out into grade. We'll clean it up. We'll go ahead and check. Boom, on grade. Boom, on grade. Okay, now that I've established grade for this 3 foot below the 100, I feel like I've established it all the way down through here. I've hit grade, got zeros. I need to now bench up and up here dig about 4 feet higher for a step in the foundation. So from that 3 foot, I want to go back up. So 4 feet, I'm going to go back into my vertical offset here, and I'm going to just put a +1 in there. And that's because I was already 3 feet below 100, and I want to come up 4 feet from that bottom floor. So at this point, now you can see I've got a fill of 4 feet from that floor. We can go ahead and come back, kind of get a reference. Now that I've moved the machine, I got to re-hit that laser. I've hit the undercarriage, or moved it. That beep is sometimes a little bit of annoying to catch it. Auto strike accepted. Let's go ahead and see where my 1 foot or 4 foot comes out at. About that elevation. Whenever I'm doing this, I like to at least establish one spot that I know so then I can cut a nice, clean, crisp edge. So right there, still about a foot. So once we've got this established, we can set down, say, okay, we're grade. Okay, we're grade. Now what I can do is go back into my vertical offset here and put this at 3 minus again to check down here. I don't need to re-reference the elevation with the laser because I haven't moved the undercarriage of the machine. So it's a little bumpy down there, quite a bit of rocks, but I got about a tenth in that corner. Go ahead and check. Good to go. Boom, good. So I do need to move the tracks one more time to get a little further away, so I'm going to at least establish that first, then we'll hit the laser one more time. Reference. Good. We'll go ahead and dig it out. Now we'll go back in and put a -3 in. Come out, check grade down here. Good. Pretty well zeros. At this point, it's just dig it out, clean it out. Just remember, every time you move your undercarriage or the tracks to a different position, either by tracking forward or backward, or you feel like the material underneath you has given way and sank, Either way, you need to re-reference your laser strike. So I think I'm pretty well done digging this corner out. Once I come back down here, without the laser strike, you can see that I'm 3 feet, almost 4 feet off. We'll grab the laser. Accepted. We can check. Fill of a tenth. The tenth. There's 0. Perfect. We are good.